special evening in Hanover Park. We are swearing in a new officer and a part-time, I think. They're not paying attention to me. Real and part-time. I love it. What about it? I mean, you can't hear me out there? I'm the only one that's deaf in one ear and can't hear out of the other. That's why I'm in charge.
There you go.
I shouldn't enjoy this job as much as I do, serving the people of Hanover Park. Well, it's 7 o'clock, and we will call the meeting to order on Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Madam Clerk, Christie, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Bancole?
Here.
Trustee Prigi?
Here.
Trustee Husani?
Here.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Here.
Trustee Porter?
Here.
And Trustee Kuckel is out tonight.
If you would, please, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. Do a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. Any discussion? Any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Prigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Presentations. A swearing in of firefighter paramedic Matthew Dyer. Matthew? Yes, sir. Come on up.
Come on over to.
Okay. Firefighter paramedic Matthew Dyer is being sworn in tonight as a full-time firefighter paramedic. Firefighter paramedic Dyer graduated from Northeastern Illinois Public Safety Training Academy. Firefighter Dyer graduated from Northwest Community Healthcare Paramedic Program in October of 2020. Prior to coming to Hanover Park Fire Department, Firefighter Dyer worked as a firefighter paramedic for Blue Island, Lincolnwood, Barrington Countryside, and Prospect Heights. He has completed his fielding training officer period, has been assigned to the Red Shift under the command of Battalion Chief Brian Similek. Is Brian here? Huh? Got a lot of experience coming in there, Brian. Matthew follows in the footsteps of his father, Pete Dyer, a retired deputy chief for the Des Plaines Fire Department, and his brother, Ben Dyer, a firefighter EMT with the Skokie Fire Department. Nice to have you with us. Okay. Here we go. You slide on. Hold that. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Matthew Dyer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic
the duties of the office of firefighter paramedic
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
We expect nothing less. Thank you. Welcome. So we'll get a photo, and I sense there's other family members here. Would you like to join us?
Those are Michael's family.
Huh?
That's Michael's family.
Oh, that's fine. I reserve the right to screw this up. I'll do it till I get it right. Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you.
No, you can't walk away. You're gonna meet the board.
You gotta go stand for it.
Yeah. Cubs or Sox?
Cubs or Sox?
Sox.
Well, perfect time. Congratulations, welcome.
It happens. It happens. Good White Sox. All right.
My man.
Thank you. Michael Domaraki, would you come on up? Please bring your family. The more the merrier.
You can help 'em out. There's plenty.
We're all proud of this profession.
Come on up, friends.
Look at it. He got his red shirt on. Oh, that looks good. Who did we leave at home? That's all I want to know. Firefighter Domaraki completed his basic firefighter operations and EMT training through the College of DuPage. Firefighter Domaraki holds an Associate of Science degree from Elgin Community College and a bachelor's degree in computer science from Ball State University. He is also working as a firefighter EMT for the Geneva Fire Department. Firefighter Domaraki will be doing his ride time and begin working shifts as a part-time firefighter EMT. How nice to have you aboard.
It's nice to meet you.
Congratulations. Well done to the family.
Okay.
Well done. Let's all get together for a photo.
Welcome and congratulations.
Come in the center and then over first. Hang on a second.
Get the whole family
Yeah,
here.
scooch this way.
They'll all come this way.
Let's move this way.
There you go.
I don't know why, but he said so.
Feet this way. There you go.
All right, very good.
Yes, that's two. Congratulations. He said Sox.
Good man, good man.
You always have to wake him up? Yeah, that's right. It's my line. I'm sticking to it. Thank you. Well done. Good to do. Okay. Town hall session, Bob Hain, if you would.
Bob?
Good evening, all.
Good evening, Bob.
Good evening.
I'm here today representing the Montera Homeowners Association. I'm the president of the board, and there are 256 homes. And these homeowners, they never come to a board meeting. They never call. They don't worry about things. Everything's fine as far as they're concerned until you guys built the magnificent sign introducing the neighbors or the cars driving by to Hanover Park. Unfortunately, the one on Stearns and Redford cannot possibly be to the code of the Secretary of State and the driving rules and regs, because you cannot see the traffic coming from the left until you are way up there. You know, there's a white line in the street. You're supposed to stop there. You can't see anything from there. You have to move up, you have to move up, you have to move up. And when it's icy, when it's foggy, things will happen. And people have been calling me, and the board, the Homeowners Association Board specifically asked me to come here and address this with you. This fantastic sign was not put in the right place. I don't know if he had no choice, should have made the sign smaller, but it's definitely in the way. It doesn't do to tell them to go out the other exit, the one on Stairway, because I've been here talking to you about that for years too. Because the fence, the big solid fence that you put up against to quiet down our neighborhood so we wouldn't hear the cars, also intrudes on how you can see the traffic coming from the left. Please, go through there yourself. Go in and out both of the exits. Look at it. It has to change. It cannot be that way. And if we don't hear something positive, next month they're going to be back here with a lot of people, because everyone's calling all the different board members. They don't like this sign. I mean, it's a beautiful sign, but they don't like it where it is. That's all I got to say. I hope that whatever the next step is, that someone would talk to someone about it, happens soon, because it's not good.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you coming out. And I
Thank
know
you.
you've represented that neighborhood nicely for years, to the point of that we've got to know you well.
Right.
And my best to you and your family, and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Staff has heard the comments.
Let's hope
as well
something
as
happens.
The board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
Bob.
good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is anybody else here for town hall? Nobody.
Is that something to me?
Nope, just if there was anybody else. Thank you.
All right. We have town hall session. Well, I just did that. Village President's report. I've been so busy I haven't even been able to put my report together. So just to let you all know, on Saturday I leave for the National League of Cities in Washington, D.C. Railroad, the railroad group is meeting with the NLC on Sunday, so that'll be a long day talking about resolutions to take to Congress. I'm working closely with the Mayor of Barrington, Karen Darch, on a possible submission of a resolution considering that our crossing, we put that safety devices in our crossing. We were acknowledged as a safe community by Canadian National this year, and I thought it was working really well. We got the bells, and if you haven't seen the video, I happened to take and accidentally discovered that even though the bell is ringing, as they walk out onto the tracks behind the train without looking to see if there's a train coming from the other direction. So in Barrington, it was in the news recently where a young lady, a high school child, was crossing the tracks. Train went by, didn't look the other way, and it cost her life. Metra has been in the schools in Barrington, educating and talking to students extensively there. It hit that little town pretty hard, and so it's safety is paramount around train department. I'm on the Metro board. I understand we get the reports on the hits across the area, the RTA area. So it's not always pretty, and families are always impacted. So with that, I had a Harper session that I had to leave early on, meeting with students who are interested in, they pull together a number of the distinguished alum and have us meet with the students. And tonight was their greeting, their dinner, and their question and answers. I had to leave because they were about to deliver the dinner. But my priority is here, of course, as well as with our youth. I'd like to move by unanimous vote items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Christie, call the roll.
So those are items 7A1 through 7A11.
Thank you.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
And Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7A12, motion to pass an ordinance authorizing the Fourth Amendment to the FY '24 budget of the Village of Hanover Park. 2/3 vote of the corporate authorities is needed.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
And Mayor Craig?
Aye. 7A13, motion to authorize the emergency repairs to the well pump and pump assembly of well number 3 to Water Well Solutions for $158,583, and authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents. A 2/3 vote is required.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions on that? 7A13? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Aye. 7A14, motion to waive competitive bidding and authorize the purchase of spring banners from display sales in the amount of $31,280 and authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents. 2/3 vote of corporate authorities is required.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. I would like to say that what I've seen of the banners, they look nice, really looking nice. Thank you. Anyone else? Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
And Mayor Craig?
Aye.
Thank you.
7A15, move to pass an ordinance authorizing a vacant land contract and sale, conveyance of real estate owned by the Village of Hanover Park, 1636 Sycamore Avenue. 3/4 vote required.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. I tried to say that I wanted to build a 4-car garage there, and that was nixed. Didn't fit the requirements, so I moved on. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Brigi?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
And Mayor Craig?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, 7A16, motion to waive competitive bidding and approve a contract with Muscat Painting and Decorating to paint approximately 204 fire hydrants in the amount not to exceed $20,000 and authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents. 2/3 vote is required.
So moved.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion?
Yes. So it recently came to my attention that Muscat Painting and Decorating, which is the company that has been added to our tonight's agenda for passage, and in which we would be waiving competitive bidding for, it recently came to my attention that their president, Brett Muscat, was recently charged with forging lease documents, and also is facing felony charges by the East Dundee Police Department. And so this information was sent to the board for review, and I cannot in good faith support a company whose president is involved in, I think, not only unethical conduct, but really criminal activity. And I'm also just really, I guess, really disappointed that, I guess that this wasn't caught. So I am strongly advocating that we do not pass this contract with Muscat Painting and Decorating, and that we look for another contractor that can paint our 204 fire hydrants.
Anyone else comment? Staff have a comment?
I was just became aware of this afternoon,
Pardon me? I'm not hearing any discussion. TJ, any comment on that? Was that your bid?
Well, this is a company that this group of other communities, on page 182 is the, Downers Grove, Burridge, Glen Ellen, other communities that are using it. So we were adding ourselves on to the last year of their 3-year bid agreement, or, I just became aware of what trustee Banco forwarded the article to everyone, and so if we will look into it, I'm not always whatever the board wishes to do.
So I agree with trustee Bancole, and I support that. Either we need to investigate a little bit, maybe you're going to find out something else that we are not aware of, and probably it will come back to the board next meeting.
Yeah, we haven't had time to.
That's right.
verify if
So,
it's the same
nothing
person
that we have
or
to
the
do
same
right now.
company or anything.
Okay.
So in the memo to the board, it says that the bids were opened on May 25th of 2022.
Yes, the other communities did this as a group and have been using the company for 2 years. We called and got that pricing for us. That's why it's way competitive for us.
Although the contract had been bid 2 years ago.
Yeah, for a 3-year contract, for a 3-year service.
Okay.
Great.
This happened in 2023, right? A charge?
April of
President?
2023.
Yeah, less than a year ago.
Yeah. And there has to be some process to scrutinize a little bit as to, businesses that we work with. I can only give example what experience I have in the banking industry. Even if you're banking a client to a business client, we research a little bit before we even make them a client. We go to Google, and that's the easiest way to research just by name. And if we find out something, then we move back and we don't even open an account. And that's how it was. So the village has to have some standards like that to have research before. When I initially joined the board, I used to look at who we making the payments and stuff like that. Some of them were not in good standing businesses and stuff like that. I'm like, well, just practice, I don't know. It's just, I'm going to start looking into that more as to, and a village should, not me, a village should just look at their good standing, and they are a legit business, first of all, to do business with.
Yeah, and a business in good standing is an official category and designation, and so that can be looked at.
Yeah.
It's harder when it's a Google search and it's an article that's in the paper. It's just a little different. I understand that it's raised some concern, but again, we haven't had time to verify the person, whether the court case is, the charge is valid, whether it's gone through the process, whether they've had their due diligence
Well, I'd like staff to validate, you know, the outcome here. If we can table that, to give staff the opportunity to really research this, and if they are what is being suggested, I probably would agree, but is there any thought about tabling this thing? Give staff the opportunity?
I'm not comfortable with the way we processed this to begin with, that we didn't know that a Google search could render this. There has to be more vetting. This is not the first time this has happened. I believe we had another issue before. So I'm certain that Bartlett is no longer doing business with them. And that goes to show that just because another consortium of municipalities did business with an entity in the past doesn't mean that they're in good standing now. So regardless of what other entities or municipalities are doing, it's our duty to look into these companies. So, yeah, you can table it, and if it comes back, I still would not be comfortable voting for this particular business because the allegations are so strong.
Well, first of all, before you say that, I think you really need to get more information, because, you know, unless someone has really dug into it, have you dug into this to determine that this is the same person and all that
Yes,
other
the same
stuff?
person.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It's the same person, same name.
Well, I'm just saying that sometimes it bears a little bit more investigation before you draw any real conclusions about what they may or may not have done. But I understand the concern. I'm just saying that I don't think that you should, you know, necessarily condemn him yet unless he's been convicted or whatever. That's all I'm saying. But investigate into it, and if there's a question, yes.
So I don't believe that it's my role to investigate into any company. I stated that this company is in the news because their president, who has now tried to work with us,
Oh, okay. I
was
don't know.
forging documents
He turned himself
and
into
then
the
turned
police.
himself into the East Dundee Police Department and now has felony charges because of the East Dundee Police Department. So I do not believe that that is a company that we should be doing business with or giving any type of contracts to. And I know that our neighboring, our neighbors are, working with them. I wonder if they even know that the person that they're working with is forging documents, right? So
Well,
I'm not talking about
I'm assuming-
investigations
I'm
or
assuming that
things
this-
of that
I'm
nature, but
assuming
I
this-
am talking about this, what we have before us, right? So not
Concerning
moving
those-
forward
But
with
concerning
that
those other
contract.
towns, it does appear as though the contract that they entered into.
I can't
was 2
speak for the
years.
other towns. I
So
can only
well,
speak for this town, right? So what we have before us is a contract to give them, to paint our fire hydrants. I don't believe we should do that. But I would ask for clarification on what a table means, because like trustee Gutierrez said, if we table it and we come back, I'm still not voting to give a contract to a business that, is taking part in unethical, conduct, so.
Well, first of all, if there's been a motion to table, has there been a second to it?
There hasn't been a motion.
table.
Oh,
There was nothing.
okay.
I was just suggesting a motion to table might be in order to have staff do the research on whether it's real or Memorex. The
Would anybody like?
charges doesn't mean they've been convicted, but if, it's up to the board. I mean,
I think we need to look for another company to do business with.
Agreed.
I think that's just what we should do.
I'd like to call the question.
Thank you.
so we call the roll.
Trustee Brigi?
No.
Trustee Husani?
No.
Trustee Gutierrez?
No.
Trustee Porter?
No.
Trustee Bancole?
No.
Mayor Craig?
I don't need to vote. We're not passing this. Very good.
So the motion failed.
Correct.
The motion failed. keeping an eye on the news, it's not a bad idea. We can catch things that are faulty and coming before us. I typically like to give staff additional time to do that follow-up, and but I understand the unanimous decision of this board. I support. Where the heck was I? 7A17. Move to approve warrant 37-2024 in the amount of $989,865.50.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Trustee Gutierrez?
Yes,
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
And Trustee Frigie?
Yes.
Thank you.
7A18, move to approve warrant paid in advance 2/10/2024 through 2/8/2024 in the amount of $1,151,253.10.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Christie, call the roll.
Trustee Gutierrez?
yes,
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Frigie?
Yes.
And Trustee Husani?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 7A19, move to approve the January 2024 P cards in the amount of $30,824.53.
So moved.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Bancole?
Yes.
Trustee Frigie?
Yes.
Trustee Husani?
Yes.
And Trustee Gutierrez?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Village Managers Report, Juliana.
No report.
Thank you. Village Clerk's Report, Christie.
The only thing I have to report is that the doggy extravaganza is coming up in early April. It is at 2 p.m. in Ontaриовille Park that first Saturday. That is all. April 6th.
Thank you. Corporation Council Report, Bernie.
No report, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Kunkel is not with us this evening. Yasmin Bancole, trustee, if you would.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to give a sincere congratulations and just heartfelt thank you to the mayor, Clerk Merrill, and Trustee Gutierrez for representing Hanover Park so nicely, all of you.
Thank you.
Additionally, I would like to recognize Trustee Porter because Cook County provided a resolution in recognizing Trustee Porter as the longest-serving African-American elected official in the northwest suburbs. And Trustee Porter is such a history maker in his own right, and we are so lucky to have him on our board. So congratulations to Trustee Porter as well.
Deputy Mayor, Trustee Porter.
Deputy Mayor Trustee Porter. I recently went to the West Central Municipal Conference Legislative Breakfast, and that conference does a lot of advocating for municipal needs and interests, but those that are located in West Suburban Cook County, so it was a really informative legislative breakfast. I also recently went to the O'Hare Noise Compatibility Commission, which was also great as well. We learned about I-490, the improvements coming there, and I guess wanted to share a fun fact. During that meeting, we had the Chicago Department of Aviation provide us with a report, like a noise complaint report. And so they said that of the almost 150 noise complaints that they got in regards to O'Hare, in January 2024, 5 complaints came from the Village of Hanover Park. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just saying. We had 5 complaints from Hanover Park.
I slept through them all.
Yeah. I think last month I mentioned that we would have a, Hanover Park residents would have a referendum question on their ballots if they choose to vote in regards to whether or not Hanover Park residents should approve a roof referendum to replace 2 roofs for our Park District Community Center buildings. Did want to notify our residents that they can find out more information. There is an upcoming info meeting that the Park District is putting on, so you can answer all your questions. That's coming up next Monday, I believe. I'm blanking on the time, but it is posted on the Park District's Facebook page.
6 o'clock.
Thank you. 6 o'clock. I also just recently learned that there are 2 referendum questions. And so there's one for the Park District, but there's also another one pertaining to Hanover Park residents whose children, or I shouldn't say children, Hanover Park residents that feed into the Glenbard School District 87, they will also have a referendum that talks about approving bonds that would improve all 4 Glenbard high schools. And so a portion of Hanover Park residents feed into the Glenbard North High School in Carroll Stream, and there's all sorts of information. Glenbard 87 has like an entire info sheet, so I want to make sure that our residents are aware of those 2 questions that'll be coming up on their referendum. Also wanted to remind our residents that State Representative Michelle Mussman is having a town hall in our police department on March 18th at 6 p.m. And last but not least, apologies. The resident that was here before, Mr. Bob.
Payne, Bob Payne,
I wanted to, pardon?
Bob Payne.
Bob-
H-A-I-N, yep.
Yeah, thank you. Bob Hain, Mr. Hain that was here before, he called attention to the Redford sign. I haven't received any communications from Mr. Hain, but I did receive a communication from another resident in that area. I did pass that along, and I do understand that we are reviewing that Redford sign matter. So if Mr. Hain is listening. Yes, go ahead.
We have reviewed that and studied that, and it is within guidelines in the appropriate spot.
Thank you.
And we have that report, John can share that.
Thank you. And the,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What does
yeah.
that mean, it's within the appropriate guidelines in terms of the way it's placed? If we are getting comments from residents that it's blocking view of oncoming traffic,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
is there a conflict in the two?
No, our understanding, so if you drive over there, there is a white line, but the white line was put before the sidewalk because the side to the right, so that people, if they will walk, that would stop before the sidewalk in case anybody was walking. But you are then able to pull up past that yellow, or past that white line and be able to see effectively both ways and safely to then make a turn.
Can we reposition the white line then, if that's
No,
causing?
not because of where the sidewalk was put in. We wouldn't want somebody to have the white line later and then drive and potentially, right?
That's correct. Typically, the stop bar is located in a manner to stop traffic before the sidewalk crossing. If you cannot see, then you have to move forward, roll forward with your car until you can see the traffic, and then you can pull out when it's close. But the stop bar makes sure people stops before there's a pedestrian conflict.
So, there seem to be 2 competing interests, and what, I understand the village in terms of, regulations and ordinances and where things have to be placed, but it also seems to be a very real concern by some residents. What do we do to come to a resolution of that so that we walk away with a win-win for both parties? Because I don't think it's adequate to just say, well, it fits within regulations, you know, and walk away from it and tell them that they have to live with it because of regulations, if their concerns are in fact legitimate, and I have no reason to doubt the legitimacy of their concerns.
Well, I would say if you go and drive it.
And I will do that, yeah.
I would suggest that you go and you park, you drive down the street, you stop at the white line and then see how that is in line with the sidewalk, and then you are able to pull forward without pulling into traffic and still be safely able to see both ways, and you will be able to see both ways. But I would suggest you take that step, short of putting a sign there, which saying stop at white line and then pull forward. Say, I mean, it's just
So can we,
common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the sign is, I understand, the sign is where the sign was before, right? This other sign is smaller, but it is within,
It's very close to where the sign was before, but it is bigger. The, part of the issue is there's a large distance between the edge of the road on Stearns and where that sidewalk is.
Yeah, it comes
So you have to stop a long ways before the road. So you stop a full car's length essentially before you get to the road. So you can pull on forward and get to a spot where you can view down the road. And you can see all the way down to the corner, which is I think, we measured it up, it's like 600 feet or something like that, which if a car was traveling 60 miles an hour, which the speed limit I believe is 35, they'd still be able to see you, come to a stop before they'd get to that intersection if you were, you know, pulling out.
so what I'd like to suggest, and pardon me for interrupting on your report, what I'd like to suggest is can we revisit this, give the trustees an opportunity, those that have an interest to go and drive the area, view it for ourselves, to see, you know, just what type of a hazard the residents may be speaking to, and then we can come back with a more informed opinion of it and maybe talk about something we can do to mitigate the problem for the residents, and if there are any solutions.
yeah, and if there is a problem.
If there is a problem, yeah, to confirm and that there's a problem, and then what we can do, should we agree that the problem is legitimate.
Well, and I was gonna ask, I haven't had a chance, have we communicated with that neighborhood that the study was done? I mean, it sounds like you're speaking as the president of a homeowners association, and if you've done the study, maybe there's information we can share to them, so that
Okay.
gives them comfort.
Yeah, I've shared that information with a few people, a few residents that have reached out, but I'm not sure if he was one of them and if that information was passed along.
Yeah, but as a spokesperson for the association, I would tend to think that, you know, he's had input from more than one resident. But I don't want to belabor the point, but can we just take that up at the next meeting, give us a chance to review it, look at it, and then have that as a discussion?
Sure, we can just send you an email, or, I think we had, and if it rises to a discussion, then I think we have a workshop coming up too. But let's get you the information, let you have time to do that, to drive that, so that.
Okay.
So the last thing I wanted to just talk about is the, I think we're at a point where we, and I can't speak for all of us, but maybe I should say I'm at a point. I think I'm at a point where I think it would be important to take it upon ourselves to do a little bit more vetting when we decide to work with different companies. And so in regards to what we discussed earlier tonight with Muscat, you know, as Trustee, you know, Gutierrez mentioned before, you know, this isn't the first time that we've been asked to vote on a contract where the business was taking part in all sorts of unethical business. And I think about, you know, a couple years ago when we were asked to, you know, vote on a company, and then they had, you know, they were reported in either the Sun-Times or the Tribune with, you know, like gangster ties or whatever, and then we, you know, we had another contract come before us, and we awarded them $1 million, but they didn't even have a website. And so it's getting to the point where I'm starting to feel like uncomfortable with some of these contracts that are coming before the board. And so I really do believe that it would be important to maybe reform how we are doing vetting on these companies, but also explore the idea of adopting a responsible bidder ordinance, which I know a few communities in the area have adopted, which kind of gives us another layer of security when we go out and, you know, try to, you know, get companies to work on the, you know, projects that we need. So I guess I'm asking for support for us as a village to explore a responsible bidder ordinance at our next workshop, which is coming up on April 4th.
When is our next workshop?
March 21st.
I have an April 4th.
Harvey?
Yeah, I have it as April 4th as well. So I'm hoping that we can review.
Workshop is on April 4th.
Thank you for confirming that. I'm hoping that we, as a board, can review a responsible bidder ordinance at our upcoming April 4th workshop, and I'm looking for support from the board to do that.
I think we can do that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Priggy?
No report.
Trustee Hussein?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody, starting tomorrow, it's a restaurant week in Hanover Park. So the flyer is available online on our website. Please share with family and friends, post it on social media. I encourage people to go in the restaurant and ask for what the special is for their week, to make it noticeable for them too that we are impactful and we're doing things intentionally. So just a reminder for that. And also, I just want to congratulate or wish everybody who celebrates Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. That's coming up this weekend, starting from Sunday night. It goes for a whole month, and it's the fasting month. And we talk about more fasting, and I definitely lose weight end of it. So that's good. That's one good thing that comes out of it. But also, there are many other things that is just, you know, you're supposed to be generous in that month and donate. It's must to donate at least 3% of your savings and the gold that you have, whatever the dollar value of it is, and spend that 3% in the poor and needy. And food, I mean, meeting relatives and friends and family, this is the most that happens activities. Some of my cousins never invite me except in Ramadan. So once a year I go to their home, but at least that is fixed, that at least I'll see them once a year. So a lot of family events, friend events, and it's just, it gives you a lot of control over eating because, you know, sweets and everything else, I would eat it any time of the day, and I try to stop myself, and that patience comes from Ramadan, that I cannot eat during the day when the sun is out, and I cannot drink water. So that makes me a better person coming out of it, besides losing weight. So, you know, with that, I conclude my report, Mayor.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know we've been invited to the mosque for, I can't remember. I don't have the
Yeah.
date in front of me, but
Sure.
I've heard from Mo Patel over there, and
Excellent.
extended that invitation. Sue put it on my calendar.
And you do that always, Mayor, so you
I
get involved.
I do, yes,
Yes.
yes.
That's great.
As a matter of fact, if I can just pop in, we just completed Read Across America Week, and I was in all the schools, and the Alhuda Academy. I read to every student there, by class, of course. And I got photos out the kazoo, whatever that is. So,
That is great work. Great
no, I
work, too.
enjoy getting out with the kids in all the schools. It kept me busy.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Gutierrez.
Yes. Thank you. I apologize for not being at the last meeting. I was not feeling well. I just want to thank Trustee Bakole for what you said about the WGN report. That was a lot of fun. It was nerve-wracking, but it was fun, and I was so happy to be on the map there. We did have to cancel our historic meeting because of the storm, which was a very good idea that we did. But we will be meeting again. CIDC is planning a women's event in April. We have a panel of amazing speakers. Once I have a flyer, I will let you know, so you're all invited to that. I want to remind you that Kids at Hope is on April 27th.
Correct.
Is that right? So we're working at that, and they can really use volunteers. So if anybody wants to volunteer, if the board wants to volunteer, you don't have to volunteer the entire time. It would be wonderful. And then finally, I'm working with someone at she's actually the Deputy Director of Cemetery Oversight, to see if we can get a grant for our little cemetery at the church on, forget the name, where the church has, what's the name of that cemetery? Church. Yeah. Is that it? Is that the cemetery and church? No, the one that doesn't have the headstones anymore. That needs help. That we don't know where people are buried. That one. So we're trying to get a grant to see if we could fix that. There's no oversight because no one's been interred there for some years, so we're working on that as well with the Historic Committee. And that's it for me.
Which church are we talking about?
The cemetery.
No, it's not the one at church. Is it Greenbrook? That's what I thought. Greenbrook. There's a very
The
important
one off
person.
the church?
No, there's a very important founder of our community buried there, and I'm sorry, but I'm so tired I cannot recall.
The one outside the FCP plant?
I don't know, but we have another cemetery in town. It's in a church. The headstones are damaged. It's on Greenbrook.
All my voters are there.
Near our water plant.
Is it near the water?
Yeah,
The
Okay.
SDP plant in Greenbrook?
there's,
Okay.
there's that church there,
Yes,
and then
yes.
it's right.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
I think they both
They both need help? I can only do one cemetery at a time. But one really is really bad.
Though they weren't cared for very well for a long time.
No, and we've got really important founders whose streets are named after people that are resting there.
I think a lot of the data is sitting in the Bartlett Village Hall,
Where?
in the Bartlett Village Hall.
Oh, in Bartlett Village Hall. Well, I got the names of everybody
The
that's in.
Bartlett House is in here, well, it's gone now.
No, but I have everybody, I have the names of everybody that's resting there. I have it. I just can't tell where they're at because there's no headstones. So, I need help. So that's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I think that concludes,
Reporter.
Trustee Porter.
Thank you for remembering me.
Yeah, of course.
I want to start off by saying that the Black History Month program was a great success. Our speaker, Reverend Otis Moss, just really entertained, informed, educated, and delighted our crowd. We had a packed house. We were pretty much full to capacity here in the room. And so thank you to everyone who helped put that together, to our police department for providing security during the event, and all of our public works workers who came in to set up and break down and clean up and do the things that they do. They make all of these events possible, so thank you to all of the staff that contributed to it. Another great event which we're very proud of. March is Women's History Month, and so I just want to recognize the contributions of women to our society in America following on Black History Month. I think, you know, there's no denying the significance that women have played in our society, going all the way back to the suffrage movement and everything that they've accomplished moving forward from that. So my hat's off to the ladies. We couldn't do it without you. You keep us guys in check and in line and give us a baseline and some gravity to keep us grounded. So thank you for that. St. Patrick's Day will be coming up before our next meeting. So to all who celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I just want to say, what do you say, top of the morning? What do you say for St. Patrick's?
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that'll do. For St.
As long as I get my corned beef and cabbage, I'm okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to recognize my colleague, Trustee Bankole, who was recognized on the floor of the U.S. Congress by Congresswoman Delia Ramirez for her outstanding contributions and as being a notable Black History Month person of interest here in Hanover Park. It's quite an honor to have your name spoken on the floor of the U.S. Congress, so congratulations. It's a testimony to all your hard work and your involvement that you do for the people of Hanover Park. You're a shining star, and who knows where the future's going to lead you, but I'm very proud that you got that recognition. Very proud of you.
Your good friend and our friend also was recognized from the floor.
Yeah, Michael Childress.
Yes,
Yes.
and he's doing a great job.
It's been mentioned, March 18th, Michelle Mussman's town hall. It would encourage everyone to come. Michelle's a great friend of Hanover Park. And the last time she had a town hall, I was a little disappointed because there was no village officials that were there and just a very few village residents. And Michelle is such a wealth of information. I mean, she really knows what's going on in Springfield. And I would just like to, I know everyone's busy with their schedules and their calendars, but I think when she goes through the trouble to select Hanover Park to have a town hall, if we could show up and show some support, because she supports us to the fullest. And,
You said March 18th?
Yes.
That's a Monday night? Yeah, we didn't get the message, at least I didn't get the message on our town hall last time.
Yeah.
So, and she has served us well with our safety at the railroad.
Yeah.
She was the source of that funding, so.
Yeah, no, she's a good friend to Hanover Park. And finally, I just want to offer my condolences to my friend and former trustee, Charmaine Shahjahan, on the passing of her father, and wish my prayers and condolences go to her and her family as they go through this difficult time in the passing of a parent. And I just wanted to remember her on this evening. She served this board very well, very faithfully during her time on the board, and just want to offer condolences to her and her family. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, and I may also, do we have executive session?
Yes.
We do, okay. I will add that my good friend Frank Savarino, his wife passed this morning. So he's, well, good friend, very supportive of Hanover Park. And I understand I'm going to be in D.C. during his, during the event. So with that, move to executive session, section 2C21, review of executive session minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Motion adjourned, we will not return. All in favor?
I don't have a motion.
Aye.
You don't have a motion?
I have a motion, please.
Anybody want a motion to?
Anybody want to leave?
Move.
Thank you.
We have motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you back there. Steve? Here comes Remy with the secret word.
Ooh, she can't go through the middle, though.
Randy comes in.
They don't want.